Duran, Ordinary World on Wave 105. It's Sunday night. This is Simon Clark with some great tunes to end the weekend. And now we're going to prepare you for the week that's coming after. 5 things you need to know about next week with columnist and blogger Vicky Charles. Hello.
Good evening.
What's the first thing we need to know about next week?
S Club 7 are playing tomorrow at the Bic. I looked at the picture and I thought, I don't recognise all those faces. I reckon they've replaced a few people. And I could only count 4 that I recognised. But when I looked a bit closer and read the thing underneath, it is all 7 of them.
Oh,
They've
maybe
just all
the other
grown up.
3 had uphill paper rounds in the interim.
Yeah, possibly
to
that,
make ends meet.
There's only 11 dates on the tour, though, so we're quite lucky, depending on how you look at it, that they're coming to Bournemouth.
So, Monday night out then, S Club
Yes.
at the BIC. What's the second thing we need to know about next week?
Tuesday is the 70th anniversary of Thomas the Tank.
Wow.
Everyone remembers the 1984 shows, but actually there were several attempts to put it on TV before that, and
Really?
they just failed. Yeah, even in like 1953, I think was the first one. There was a scene where a train came off the tracks, and a big hand came in and picked it up and put it back on the tracks, and it made the papers. Everyone was really annoyed that they'd done that, so it kind of didn't go so well.
I really hope they've made it onto the internet somewhere. That would be fascinating. So, happy 70th birthday Tuesday for Thomas the Tank Engine. What's the third thing we need to know about next week?
Thursday is Mary Rose at night at the Mary Rose Museum. Museums at night is apparently a thing, and lots of local museums are doing this. They're opening up for the
Hovercraft
evening.
Museum's done it before in Leon Solon, and quite a few of the others I know have done it.
I had no idea, but then I don't go out after 5 o'clock, so I wouldn't. But they're advertising this, obviously, the Mary Rose, King Henry VIII, you know, Tudors, all that business. Do they still cover that at school? I remember doing a lot about the Mary Rose when I was about 10.
I think it's still on the curriculum.
Yeah, so it's a great thing to take the kids to. They're having Tudor fun and frolics with all sorts of stuff like historical costumes, dancing, crafts, things like that. And the tickets are only £5 per person or £15 for 2 adults and 2 children.
Wow, so a totally different way to see the museum at night, and that's happening on Wednesday. What's the fourth thing we need to know about next week?
It's Countryside Day on Saturday at Sparshot College.
Oh, I love going to Sparshot with the kids.
Do you know, I've never been there. I was looking up at... They are just really keen to show off all the stuff they've got, because they've got so many things, and they teach so many courses that you would think, what, really? I know somebody's doing like a zoology course there or something.
Wow.
They've got like zoo animals and everything. Gun dog displays, angling, clay pigeon shooting, pony rides. They've got chainsaw carving and live dissection, which I thought was fantastic. Some kids would be like, wow, look at that.
Last time I took my kids, they had a go at the angling.
Did they?
It was brilliant. They loved it.
Did they catch anything?
No. Only grass on the hillock behind when they were casting. But they loved it. They absolutely loved it. So it's brilliant for them to get involved in things like that. I know if I go this time, though, we'll see the gun dog display, and it will just fuel the conversation about whether or not I need to get a dog.
You need to get a dog.
No, I haven't got time for a dog at the moment.
But they're so cute.
In a few years,
They're
when the
much
kids
better
are
than
older and they
cats.
can take the responsibility and the cats have shuffled off and gone paws up, maybe I can get a dog. But for now, don't you start.
You're a whingy old man, so
Don't you
need
start.
a dog.
I have
Dogs
enough
are
of
so
this
much
at
better.
home.
But they're so pleased to see you all the time.
Yeah, granted, the cat can be a bit indifferent, unless it's hungry, in which case it's your best friend. Anyway, moving away from the whole should I, shouldn't I get a dog discussion, what's the fifth and final thing we need to know about next week?
Sunday, they're doing a mindfulness walk at Delston Country Park.
Now, mindfulness is really big these days.
Yeah, I've read so many articles recently where they've said that it's just as effective as antidepressants for not curing depression, but, you know, preventing relapse of depression, and also addictions. It's really good for that, because it's about noticing what your mind is doing and kind of turning yourself into almost a third party of going, our mind, I see what you're up to there, kind of thing.
Well, a friend of mine's quite seriously ill. They diagnosed her 8 months ago, and since then, obviously, you go through a whole different myriad of experiences and thoughts and everything else. And mindfulness is one of the things that's helped her through it, the whole process.
It's brilliant. It's really good. And also, of all the places that you could go for a mindfulness walk, Delston Country Park, it's going all around Delston Meadows, and it's led by somebody. So it starts at 10:30, you turn up, it's a 2-hour walk, and somebody kind of takes you around and teaches you some simple techniques, which I think is just fantastic. Why would you not do that?
OK, if you want to find out more about the 5 things that we've discussed this evening, then where do they need to head?
SingleMotherAhoy.com.
Excellent. Vicky's blog, you can find out more about it there. And we'll link to that via our Facebook page. See you next week.
Bye.
Here's Years and Years and King on Wave 105.